right before going in my fight, all the stress, like, it goes away. And even if I'm playing against a double Olympic champion or I don't know who, I think in the same way.
So you had a broken thumb, you had an ankle sprain and a shoulder dislocation, and you still won.
The day before the weigh-in, I hate my sports. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, why am I even doing this? Is it even worth it? I was very dehydrated. I saw black dots everywhere. Sometimes I get kicked on the head, I get pissed. But now I keep it in. I just think, like, what do I want at the moment? What do I want? I want to win. Okay, she kicks me on the head, I don't care. And I play the same way I will play with an Olympic champion as I'm gonna play with someone who never won any medals. They're like, okay, you're the flag bearer, you have to get the medal. And 5 years ago, when I was a junior, I got the medal at the Asian Games. So I'm like, I can't not get a medal this time. But I needed 2 more points to, like, finish the game, and I felt like, what am I doing? Do I even deserve to win? Maybe I felt like she's better, she's a world champion, like, why would I win against her? Lots of competitions, I was losing 10-0 and then won again.
Wow.
Because I started with this bad mentality that I'm not good enough, and then switched.
So what did you see yesterday with Laetitia?
With Laetitia, okay.
Laetitia number 2.
Laetitia number 2. Okay, we were going on your TikTok to see, what you're doing. She asked me, what is Adi doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he has a lot of followers on TikTok.
Okay.
He stopped doing his videos.
Mm.
And okay, let's see what he's gonna do, what he's doing. We clicked on your account and we saw that you did a new video explaining what you're doing right now.
Okay.
And how you started the podcast. And we were shocked, actually.
Okay. What did you see in the video?
Okay, I saw you explaining why, like, you went away for 470 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, some people were asking, are you sick? Are you okay? And you explained that, it wasn't you, actually.
Yeah.
It was scripted. And I know you personally.
Yeah.
So, and I watched the videos. Yeah, it's not you at all.
No, it wasn't me.
But it's a very good idea, what you did. It's very nice, like, all the videos and everything. Like, you had to do something to get where you are. Okay, even if you're not comfortable doing it. Yeah, I understand. Okay, but they were very... كتير مهضومين the videos.
Okay.
Okay, I said that you stopped, but it's okay. Like, now you're doing something that you like. And it's very nice. And, Laetitia and I, we were like, okay, like, we watched your video, your new TikTok, like this, and all the time focused. And her mom came, she's like, شو عم تحضروا? Like, خلاص أنا خلينا نحضر. And that's it.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I like this. I want to go not deeper, but explaining. First of all, where do you travel tomorrow? Where are you traveling?
Okay, I'm going to Turkey.
Turkey.
Where exactly? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Look, I don't ask a lot of questions. I should, but I know it's not in Istanbul, but I have a Turkish Open, a competition.
Okay.
It's a G1 competition.
What does G1 mean?
Okay, G1 means the winner gets 10 ranking points for the world ranking, Olympic ranking. Okay. Right now, my goal is not to get ranking points. It's to participate more in competitions outside, because I have a major competition in March.
Mm-hmm.
So just to get used to the stress again, because I stopped competing for like 4 months, to get used to the stress again, to see my level, to train. It's more like a training, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's not for the points.
Okay, so kind of get ready for the big matches coming up.
If you want.
Okay, nice. And how did it feel like Arab champion? Arab Taekwondo champion in the house.
I'm 3 times Arab champion, actually.
Anja?
It's not the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. But last year, I lost the final, if you want.
Okay.
Last year, there were 2 Arab championships. One at the start of the year and one at the end of the year. At the start of the year, I got the 2nd place. At the end of the year, I was 1st. In 2021, I lost the final because, like, we had the same number of points. I don't know. It's a bit complicated to explain. But then the referees were so close to each other. Everything was like, we took the same amount of hits, same amount of kicks. Everything was equal. So the refs had to choose who won.
Wait, how do they choose?
It's like, usually it's the person that was more aggressive, if you want.
Okay.
Okay. But in this round, we played the first round, 2nd, 3rd, and we went to a 4th round because everything was equal.
Okay.
Okay. And in the 4th round, also everything was equal. Like, nobody took a point, and we had the same amount of hits on the protectors. So they chose, obviously, the other girl, she was ranked like 6th in the world. They weren't gonna come and choose me.
Where was she from?
From Morocco, actually.
Morocco?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had the same points, But they made the decision based on who was more
based
aggressive.
on who was more aggressive during the round.
Wow, I
Yeah.
never knew this.
Yeah, it's like to get to this point, you have to like everything has to really be equal in everything.
But how rare is that to have everything equal?
Very rare.
What the fuck? You know what I remember about Taekwondo?
You used to do it.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was 10. I remember having one session or two sessions and seeing everyone getting their new belts and getting black belt, green belt, and I was still yellow. When the session finished, I went, opened the box, there was a green belt, I stole it,
No way. And you left.
and
you
I
come
never played
back?
again. I
No.
never played again. But that's the thing that's fascinating about you is that most people, they either start or stop Taekwondo. And few are the ones that actually follow through. And fewer are the ones that just master it like you did.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Like every person I meet, they're like, "Oh my god, I used to do taekwondo." Like there's no one I didn't see and told them I do taekwondo. They're like, I used to do it when I was a kid.
So how did you start?
How did I start? I used to do everything, all the sports.
Like what?
Like when I was a kid, I was a bit hyperactive, if you want.
Okay.
And I used to do like gymnastics, swimming, tennis, ski, climbing, rollers, equitation, everything. And taekwondo also.
Mm-hmm.
So one time, I don't know, I got the black belt. And then there was the first ever cadets world championship.
Okay.
Okay, like I was like, keep in mind, I was doing everything. Like I was swimming, I was doing tennis. Like during the week, I had all of these activities. Okay, I don't know how my mom had the time to take me. Yeah, so there was this world championship, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna travel for sports. I was 13. Yeah,
Wow, 13.
yeah, and it was my first competition as a black belt. Usually, people to go to the world championship, like you play your nationals and then you play like qualifiers and then you go to the world championships. Like there, because it was the first cadets world championship and there were not a lot of girls cadets that have a black belt on my category. So I just went like this. Like I just weighed in for the Lebanese championship. There was no one against me and I participated.
Okay.
Of course, I lost with a big point difference. And I had my first match, like it's a draw. You play and then if you lose, you're out. I had my first match with Iran. And I remember the night before, my friends were like, oh my God, you're playing with Iran. And I was a kid. I didn't even know what was Taekwondo, if you want. And I'm like, and so what? Okay. And I didn't even realize, like I went into the ring. The girl was like 2 times taller than me.
No.
And the thing that was funny is that I didn't even know where to stand up for the, like, we bow to each other before the game. I didn't even knew where to stand up. Like, I went there, I was so lost. And it was so funny. During the video, you see my mom filming and laughing.
She was a Taekwondo athlete?
My mom used to do Taekwondo, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But she never competed because, before, like, even in all Lebanon, they didn't used to compete like that much, like right now.
Okay.
She just did it for fun.
Okay.
So I played the world championship and I lost. Like she got the title of the world champion. This Iranian girl, yani. I had the first fight with her, and she just warmed up with my head. Yeah, no, it was so funny. But since then, like I'm like, oh my god, I like Taekwondo. Even though I went in and I got hit. And I went out and I'm like, oh my god, I like Taekwondo and it's really nice. And since then, I started traveling more and more and more and stopping like one sport at a time. Like I stopped swimming, I stopped tennis, and then focusing more on like one thing, which was Taekwondo.
Wow, that's so powerful. I love this because there's a book I just bought that's called The One Thing. And it talks about how to achieve like extraordinary results. And it says those people focus on just one thing.
Yeah.
And that's really, really cool. You said you started very young, 13 black belt. At 10, I had my yellow belt. I never saw anyone that was 13 with that level of mastery of a sport. So how did it go so fast? How did you go from yellow to green to the...
Actually, I started a bit late. I was like 8 or 9, I think 9 years old.
Okay.
It's considered late. Like when I was there, I remember seeing people like younger than me that had red belts, black belts. Like, when I was like 10, people had 10 years old had black belts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm not considered like a person who started early.
Okay.
And I stopped a lot. Like I did, let's say I did taekwondo like okay for 2 months, and then I stopped for like 3 months. Then I came back and continued. Like, and when I had the brown belt, the coach told my mom, okay, she's really good. She can play the Lebanese championship with the red belts. Okay, and like jump like 3 or 4, like we have brown, red
Mm-hmm.
with one stripe, two stripes, like jump like 4 belts. And if she wins the championship, she can have her black belt.
Okay.
And that's what happened.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Do you feel like you had a talent inside of it, or did it just develop because you put in the work?
I think I had the fighter's mentality since I was a kid.
Okay.
Because I grew up between 3 boys, my 2 cousins and my brother.
Okay.
And we always used to fight all the time, like hit each other.
And you
Yeah, so that's why I think I just had the fighter's mentality, not the skills, if you want. I'm sure like half the class knew how to kick better than me, but I never gave up. Like, let's say we played a fight, I got hit on the head. I didn't go on the side and cry and started crying or everything. So I just continued, and I think that's what like got me where I am.
Wow, that's powerful. So one one day with your brothers and cousins, you were like, "Fuck you."
Exactly.
That's where you realized you had something. Okay, that's amazing. I'm just gonna start with the intro. I'm your host, Fouad, and today we have a very special guest. If you are new to the show, this is a show about spiritual and self-development that aims at one thing. It's for high performers that want to add peace, meaning, and fulfillment into their daily productive life. So on today's episode, and by the way, the show is every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Eastern. We have new exclusive guests and we share awakening conversations. Today's guest is Laetitia Aoun. And she is an Arab Taekwondo champion. She just won it. And she represents Lebanon all over the world as a Taekwondo master. And also, the most beautiful thing is that she inspires and is a role model for lots of young kids who practice the sport also. So her expertise is basically that she mastered the art of, or the discipline of Taekwondo. And by the end of this episode, you will have learned how to have the athlete mindset, so an empowering mindset from a martial artist. And you'll have number 2, which is the ability to balance, how to be a high performer, which is crazy. We'll come back to it because I was doing the research. I'm like, what the fuck? How does she do it? And number 3, we're going to figure out how she achieved sustained success over the years and kept going up and getting better and better and better. So if you're an entrepreneur, an artist, or an athlete, you will find a lot of value in this episode because it will be filled with gems from a master at her sport. So, Laetitia, welcome to Rich Inside.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me, first of all.
Of course, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Laetitia is not only all these things that I just talked about, she's also a friend. So it makes it easier to have the talk and to just be chill.
Yeah.
When I was doing the research, what I found really interesting, I try to find kind of what interests me in your story. And I found that you, which is crazy, I still can't believe how you did it. You jumped rankings. In 2022, you were 66 in the world. 2023, 31st in the world. 2024, which is today, you're ranked number 16th worldwide. And you just won the Arab Taekwondo Championship. How?
Wow. Look, I didn't even know that I jumped that far. Like, you just made me realize like what I did.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't actually a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when did you start seeing my ranking? In what year? In
They said in 2022, 66.
66. Okay, yeah. Actually, I started competing with the plus 18, the seniors,
Okay.
in 2019.
Okay.
But that's when like you start getting ranking points for the seniors.
Okay.
But then like I broke my leg in 2019, and in 2020 there was COVID. So I don't really count that I started in 2019, but in 2021.
Okay.
Okay. And then like I saw my ranking, and I had the Olympic qualifiers for Tokyo, like right after COVID. Like I had no chance to like participate in other competitions. It was directly the qualifiers.
Okay.
And before that, I felt like that my level in juniors, it was a world class level, if you want. And then in seniors, it came back to a like super normal level. I fought in 2019 with some of the athletes outside, Olympic medalists, and I was losing like with a huge point difference. So in 2021, I'm like, I want to get my level back. Okay, that was my main goal. I want to be like when I was a junior before I broke my foot, and I want to just get this level back. So in 2021, I played the Olympic qualifiers. Even though I lost, I realized that I got my level back because I got the third place. I had to be first or second to qualify. I got the third place, but I had just lost with a girl that later on she got bronze at the Olympics
Wow.
with a very small point difference. And there I was like, okay, it's good. I have my level back. Now let's work on that. And then I continued. And since then, I took every opportunity to participate in all the international competitions. Like we have many of them. Like even if I win a match, I will have like ranking points. So I took everything as positive. Okay, I'm traveling. I win one match, two matches. It's okay. I get like 6 points. That's great for my ranking. It's gonna increase. So I didn't stop. Like if you see how many competitions I participate in 2022, 2023, you'll be shocked. Like every month I traveled like 2 times or 3 times sometimes. Yeah. So that's what like helped me jump rankings, but mainly it was my support system. Because without them, like everything I did, like I couldn't have done it. Especially like my parents, they were always next to me. They traveled with me like most of the time. Okay, sometimes that wasn't a great thing.
Why?
Because like it's your parents, they're with you, and you have to be like tough in the competition. You don't need someone to come and hug you and kiss you and everything. But no, it's great. Like I like when they're with me. And especially my teammates and my friends, they were very supportive. But I think mainly the person that like pushed me to go through all these competitions, and even after losing, he pushed me like to continue. Okay, you lost, forget it. Just let's look at the positive side and go to the next competition. It was my coach. Okay, and like without him, I wouldn't be here. And the president of the federation, like I'm not talking to like talk about them because president of the federation and everything, but really one time in 2019, I wanted to stop, and he was like, Laetitia, you can do whatever you want, but if you want to continue, I'm here and I'm with you. I'm next to you. Just give me the okay, give me the green light, and I will be next to you until you stop. And really, after every competition, he used to check up on me, him and my coach, even if I lost, even if I won, whatever the results were. Like these people, they pushed me to the point where I am today.
That's amazing that you started with this, because it's really important as an athlete to have that support system, because sometimes it gets tough on your own, especially in like dealing with
Individual
everything
sports.
yourself,
Yeah.
right? So that's what we're going to cover today. So remember, before the podcast, we called and we said, okay, what would make this a success? You said, I want this to show the behind, you said it here, show the behind the surface, beyond the medals and the success and the podiums, show the reality of what it takes on the path to achieve a goal. And that's exactly what we're going to do, just like you said. So before the Arab Championship, you called me a few days ago and you said that you got injured?
Yes, that's true. Okay.
What?
Actually, I broke my thumb 3 months ago, if you want.
Okay, I remember.
Okay, and I did an operation. And usually, when you do that, you have to like avoid all kinds of contact for 6 months. And then you have to remove the piece of metal and then avoid contact for like another 6 months. It's a very long process.
Yeah.
Okay, but I like not ignored it, but I had no other choice than to compete with it, with my broken thumb. But that wasn't the main problem for the Arab Championship. I dislocated my shoulder 10 days before. And my ankle, I sprained my ankle like maybe 3 days before. Nobody knows about it. So ankle sprains, they don't count anymore.
They don't count.
No. Shoulder dislocations, okay, I had to stop for 2 days training. But yeah, that's okay. I always take the things like in a positive way. Okay. I dislocated my shoulder. I rested my body for 2 days. It's a good thing for the competition. I had to rest. I could rest. And the ankle sprain doesn't count. It doesn't count.
So you had a broken thumb, you had an ankle sprain and a shoulder dislocation, and you still won. That's crazy. That's literally extraordinary. I've never heard someone actually do this. Insane. And you also, that's not only it. That's not only it. You told me that also the weight cut.
Oh my God, the weight cut. Okay, every year, the first competition I play, it's like after 3 or 4 months where we had like a break,
Okay.
kind of. And during the break, like I go out with my friends, I eat, I get fat. So I arrived at this competition with 3 kilos overweight.
Okay.
I was 60. I play under 57 kilos. Okay, and the weigh-in was on the next day. And if you want, I wasn't the only one. My friends
Okay.
too. Okay. So I had to lose 3 kilos in 12 hours, if you want, and I did it.
Okay, good. How did you lose 3 kilos? And that's crazy. How?
Yeah.
What was the process
The
like?
process-
And mentally, what was it like also?
Okay, it's the second time I do this. Okay, usually I'm a bit more careful about my weight before the competition. Like I try to
Yeah.
stay like 2 or 1 kilo like far from my weight, like 59, 58. But this time, because it's the first competition, it was hard, like losing all the weight and everything, and with uni. So I trained one time with a sauna suit the night before the weigh-in. I dropped 1.5 kilos,
Okay.
and then I slept, and like 700 grams went down, and the rest I did sauna.
Wow, that's all.
Yeah, so it's, if you want, I stopped drinking water for like 12 hours.
That's fascinating. And how did it feel mentally going through this excruciating process?
Okay, before I traveled, I felt like I wasn't gonna make it. I'm not gonna lie. Like before going on the plane, I told my coach, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Okay.
I called the president of the federation. I told him, look, can I change weights? Can I play in the other category? He's like, no, I don't think so.
Imagine.
No, I don't think so. You can't.
Okay.
You have to lose the weight. And I understand, like, I have a responsibility. That's my weight, all my ranking points. My ranking 16th in the world is on this
This weight.
and I have very important competition coming up on this weight. I can't just change like this at the last minute. So I'm like, okay, I have to lose the weight. I'm gonna do everything I can. It was mentally exhausting. Like the day before the weigh-in, I hate my sports. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, why am I even doing this? Is it even worth it? Because I'm in a state where, like, before the weigh-in, I was lying down, and my physiotherapist was knocking at the door, and he's like, Laetitia, come out, and everything. I'm like, okay, just give me a minute for me to stand up, because when I stood up, because I was very dehydrated, I saw black dots everywhere. So I'm like, okay, just give me a minute. It's awful before the weigh-in. When I lose it in a bad way, when I use my weight in a bad way. I did this once before. Only we had the Islamic Games in Turkey, and it was during summer, and I was with my friends and everything. And you know, like everybody thinks that I'm just fully focused on Taekwondo. I am, but like during summer, like I'm human.
Yeah.
I want to go out with my friends.
Yeah.
Okay, and I arrived there also with 3 kilos and had to lose them also in a bad way. But there was my coach. It was the first time I did it. He's like, okay, you have to do it. He woke up with me at 6 a.m. He went with me to train. We just arrived like at night, and like the plane arrived at night in Turkey at maybe at like 11. And the next day he woke up with me at 6 a.m. because my weigh-in was at 10, and to train. There was no sauna. To just train and remove all the kilos, the 3 kilos I had the day before. So that's why I remembered like what happened before, and I'm like, okay, this time it can't be worse than last time. And I did it once, so why not do it twice? And that's it.
First of all, that's extremely tough.
Yeah.
Because I know MMA, UFC, martial artists, they go through it and it's hell. It's literally hell. I can see it on their face. So I can't imagine what you went through. What helps you to keep going when it gets like, why am I doing this? This is so... All these questions your mind starts asking.
Like something there now in Fujairah, in the Arab Championship, that helped me. I had friends losing weight with me. And I'm like, okay, they look up to me, some of them, and I can't let them down. Like, if I stop and if I give up, what am I leaving for them? So I just took my friends and I'm like, okay, we will make it and we're going to lose the weight, okay? I took them with me. We trained.
You did a motivational speech.
Yeah.
You went on the table.
Like, I'm like, okay, let's go, let's train. And during training, they were dying, and I was dying too. I'm like, no, you can't give up. And in the sauna, I was like, you're not allowed to go out. You have to stay in. But yeah, what keeps me going actually is
Yeah.
like, I think, okay, I'm not gonna do that again. And every
Okay.
time I do it again, I look at the big picture. I'm like, okay, I'm training every day, 4 hours, 2 hours gym, 2 hours taekwondo, and I'm doing all of this. And I just have to do one thing I don't like to get what I want, which is losing weight. Why not? Like, why not do it? If I just suffer for 24 hours, I will have what I want. Like in the fight, then it's over. Like I love fighting. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy it. So 24 hours of suffering are worth it.
Oh, worth it. I like that. I like that a lot. I really find also a thing that you talk about a lot. You said every lesson, every failure, every bone broken, everything that went wrong was a lesson.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Let's say now when I broke my thumb.
Yeah.
Okay. I have like a really important competition in a month. Okay. Breaking my thumb. Okay. 4 months before it's actually the Olympic qualifiers. Four
Okay.
months before the Olympic qualifiers is not a good thing at all. Okay. And I remember before breaking it, I went through a period where my performance, not actually my performance, but mentally I wasn't like ready to fight, and I was getting a bit lost like during competitions. Like I always thought that no, I'm not good enough and everything, and I was like pushing things too much. I was trying to go to more competitions, more things, and it wasn't aligning up. Like I was physically ready, but like I needed a break. Okay, and nobody saw it. Nobody told me, okay, like take a break. But I think God saw it and He broke my thumb. And He's like, okay, you have to take a break.
Okay.
And I reached a point where I was gonna like just leave the sport
Wow.
because it was so exhausting, overwhelming with university and everything. Like 4 months ago, and then I was like, I'm so close to my goal, and I still want to leave the sport. Okay, and then I broke my thumb. When I broke it at the moment, look, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't very sad. Okay, and it's weird, yeah, because usually when an athlete gets injured, like it's the end of the world for them. But I wasn't very sad, and I'm there. I realized that I need a break, and I should have taken that break without breaking my thumb. Just like 2 weeks off were enough, I think. But then I had to take a month and a half. I did an operation, and I'm in med school, so
Yeah.
so my thumb is important. I was thinking, maybe I'm gonna have to choose between med school and taekwondo, and I really don't want to do that because I don't know what specialty I'm gonna go into. But if it's surgical, I need my thumb.
Yeah.
So I took a month and a half break from taekwondo, and then when I came back, everything changed. It was more clear. Like I liked the sport again. I was happy with what I was doing. So that's one thing that showed me, like, injuries. I just look at the positive side of it. And not just that, like, one of my coaches told me, Laetitia, just think positively. And, okay, you broke it. It's okay. It's a break mentally for you. And then you can continue. You're going to be better later on. And he was right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I like how you take the positive in everything, which I think the best athletes have that. We were talking about the fact of kind of the mind, how it can be either your enemy or your ally, whether that's before or during the fight. So before the fight, once the thoughts start coming in, first of all, what's the thoughts like? And second of all, how do you react to make sure you're at peak performance?
Okay. I'm going to tell you how it went with me throughout the years.
Okay.
Okay. When I was a junior, I didn't really think. I just went into the fight. Of course, there's always a bit of stress, and stress is good. It helps you focus. But I didn't really think through like my opponent, what I was doing. I just went in and fought. I think that really helped me. And I lost that when I became a senior. Not really lost it, but when you're a senior and you have Instagram and social media and you have the rankings and you have the famous players and you start playing against them, it's not that easy anymore. You can't just go in and fight and snob everything. Like, there's someone great that's playing against you. So at first I struggled a little bit, okay, because I'm like, oh my god, this person, she's gonna play against me. But I did it once, only once. I had to play against a girl. I'm not gonna name the country, but it was my second fight, and I saw her a lot on social media. I went in and with it thinking like she's better than me, and I just lost with a big point difference. I went out. My coach told me, "Why did you play like that? You didn't even kick." I didn't even kick. I did nothing, and I told him why. And he's like, "You shouldn't do that anymore. Next time you think like that, come and talk to me." I talked to no one. And then after this competition, I never, never, never did that same mistake again. Now I go in the competition and I don't care who's in front of me. I'm here to do my best. I'm here to play. Because always my coach tells me, remember who you are. And he's right. I'm not nobody. Like, okay, they're famous, they're good, but I am too, okay? So I go in a fight and I enjoy fighting. So right before going in my fight, all the stress, like, it goes away. And even if I'm playing against a double Olympic champion or I don't know who, or even someone that I never saw playing, I think in the same way, like, you have to do your best. You have to play like this, and you have to do like everything. Like, my coach gives me a plan. I have to do the plan. Okay, I don't, even if the fight is easy, like, there's no easy fight if you want. I go in with a plan and I play the same way I will play with an Olympic champion as I'm going to play with someone who never won any medals.
That reminds me right away of the moment where you said you were winning a fight 10-0 and you
Bad memory.
so it's important to have that mindset with whoever you're playing with.
Yeah, okay. The thing is, sometimes you have that mindset.
Yeah.
But the fight it's a 2-minute fight. Okay? 2-minute round if you want. And it's 3 rounds. During the fight, a lot of things go through my head.
Okay.
Okay? And sometimes they're just absurd. Okay?
Like what? What do you mean absurd?
Like, I zone out.
Okay.
Sometimes I zone out and I think about anything, about my friends. I don't know, I'm in the middle of a fight. I think about something else. The 10-0 story, I was actually playing against the world champion in the quarterfinals of the Asian Games.
Okay, Asian Games.
Yeah,
quarterfinal.
now this year, last year, 2023. Okay, it's like the Olympics of Asia. It's a very important competition.
Okay.
And I was the flag bearer there, so they expected me to get the medal. So the pressure sometimes, especially in Lebanon, like, we're an individual sport and we have no support. It's sometimes too much. I'm not going to lie about it. And sometimes when I lose, I feel like I left a whole nation down because, like, they're mainly like relying on me. Okay, you have to get the medal. And they showed it. They're like, okay, you're the flag bearer. You have to get the medal. And 5 years ago, when I was a junior, I got the medal at the Asian Games. So I'm like, I can't not get a medal this time. I went into the quarterfinals against her. And she won the first round. I won the second round. The third round, I was winning 10-0. Okay? 10-0 is a lot.
Okay.
But this was during the period I told you, like, where I wasn't really feeling well about the sport. I wanted to stop. Even before the competition, like, I was overwhelmed with everything, with university, with everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I was winning 10-0. I needed 2 more points to, like, finish the game. And I felt like, what am I doing? Do I even deserve to win? Like, I don't know what I felt, but, like, my legs weren't working anymore. The stress. It wasn't fatigue. I wasn't tired. Okay? I think it was the stress, my legs. My coach was telling me, do this kick. I wasn't doing the kick. Why? I think maybe I felt like she's better. She's a world champion. Like, why would I win against her? Okay? And I really don't know what happened at the time. But I managed to lose, which is impossible. But that's okay, because then I realized that a lot of my friends, like, they went through the same thing. A lot of high-level athletes, world champions, they came, they talked to me, they told me, Laetitia, I had the same thing. And it's normal. Like, you can lose 10-0 and then win. And I actually did it. I don't know why I was shocked, but lots of competitions, I was losing 10-0 and then won again.
Wow.
Because I started with this bad mentality that I'm not good enough, and then switched. But this time it was the opposite. I didn't even know I could do that. Like, starting with a good mentality during the fight and ending up with a bad one. Usually, for me, it's usually the opposite.
That's really interesting. because first of all, I know what it feels like to have those thoughts in whatever thing you're performing, right? You have those thoughts, I'm not good enough, you're not gonna do as well as you think, you're gonna fail. And here for you, for example, with the Arab Championship, what was the mindset switch in the self-talk? What changed?
Okay, I was there because I was just grateful to be there.
Okay.
Because when I broke my thumb, I thought at the moment, like, I'm not gonna come back. Like, med school is more important for me. I'm not gonna come back. I'm scared for my thumb. I'm scared to break it. So when I was there, I was just happy to be there. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I was just having fun. I'm like, okay, right now I just could be in Lebanon studying and not being there. And like stopped. I could have been stopping Taekwondo and khalas. So I just went there with the mentality of, Leticia, you're here, just have fun, enjoy it, like just show them what you have. And that's what I did.
That's the most beautiful thing because it frees you, right?
Yeah.
You're freed from the
Exactly,
pressure
yeah.
of performing. In the fights, when you're in front of the opponent and it starts, I want to know more about, like, do you get into those flow states where it's like, okay, there's no more thoughts, it's just zoned in?
Usually, yes.
Okay.
I get into this like zone in when I step into the ring before the fight starts. Okay, like because we step into the ring, we have to do the protector test because we play with sensors. So we have to check the sensors.
Okay, I never
Yeah.
knew this. Okay.
Yeah, we have sensors in our feet, and on the protectors we have sensors, and on our headgear we have sensors. Yeah.
Okay.
So we do the test and everything. When I step into the ring and I tell bite my coach, like I zone in like directly after it. And when they start the fight, I don't think about it as a fight. I think about it as a game, if you want. I'm like, okay, let's get the points, and I start.
And you just focus one point at a time?
Yeah, I focused one point at a time and not doing mistakes. More of getting points. Like I'm like, okay, don't do mistakes.
Is there a trigger that you said before you get in the ring, you get into the zone? Is there something you do that helps you to get in the zone, or is it natural?
No, actually, no. I never thought about it.
Really?
It just comes alone.
Because you know LeBron James.
Yeah.
He does like he takes the call. That's a anchor for his mind to get into the zone.
Okay.
So
no.
there's a lot of athletes that do it intentionally.
Well,
So it's really cool that you do it and there's no trigger. It's just natural because you've done it so much.
yeah, no, it just comes alone. I never thought about it really like directly. Sometimes I go into fights and I'm not focused. I'm not gonna lie. Like some of the fights, I start them. I'm just listening to my friends screaming and thinking about I don't know what. And then my coach, when I hear his voice, I just focus back.
Okay.
I think his voice
Is
helps
your
a lot.
trigger.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
his scream actually, not his
Scream.
voice. Like,
Yeah, I saw a lot of the clips. First of all, I was really surprised that not only do you have kicks in Taekwondo, but you have punches.
Yeah.
Which is for me a new thing that I never knew. And here it's important for me because we said the kind of the three objectives. The first one is to discover that kind of mindset of a martial artist. It's important for me to know, okay, when you're losing, how do you get yourself back up?
when I'm losing, I don't look at the score. I think, okay.
You let go of the outcome.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I want to kill her. I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay. I want to kill her, but I'm gonna stay calm. Because
Okay.
if I don't stay calm, she's gonna get more points on me. Like if you run on your opponent, she's gonna get more points on you. So you have to stay calm and
Wow.
just continue playing the game, but you have to be more aggressive. And that's what I do. I just add aggressivity to the game and go like all attack if you want.
There's a very fine line because how do you control that aggression, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's very hard. Like during the fight, sometimes you get kicked on your head
Oh, wow, I
And-
can't imagine
and
this.
you can't you can't hit back your opponent on their head like right away. Because if you do it, you're gonna get hit back another time. So you have to calm down, take the kick in, like accept, okay, I got hit on the head, and just like could just calm down and then start again. Because if you get like angry and frustrated, you're gonna lose.
Mm.
And that's the thing, I think. Like before, when I was a cadet, okay, I used to get kicked on the head. I'm like, no, I want to get my points back. I used to run again and get kicked back on the head and then kick them on the head, and it was like a mess. Now, no, okay, they kick me on the head. I calm down. It's no problem. It's just a point. It's just a game. It's not like I don't take it personally. The head kick, like okay, I take it as a score. Okay, she got 3 points. I don't think of it like oh she hit me on the head, because if I do, I'm gonna like get angry and lose.
Wow, that's very interesting. Because usually when you get angry, it's when you take it personal.
Yeah,
You're like, no. But you have kind of the stoic mindset.
yeah. If you want, like I stay calm. Okay, you hit me. I don't care. I'm gonna just wait for the right moment to get my points back.
I like this. I think it could help a lot of young athletes that face this because, especially fighters and martial artists, it's all about control, right? Controlling yourself
Yeah,
mostly.
it's very, very important.
And how did you build that self control more? Because for example, I was a very if you remember, I was a very aggressive troublemaker kid, right? And I used to get into a lot of fights and all the rest. I had to learn how to control myself through meditation, through reading, through whatever. How did you do it?
At school, I was also a troublemaker. I wasn't that calm kid in class. So I think competition after competition, I realized that if I want to win, I have to look at not what's gonna happen for like, okay, if I want to win, okay, and I want the final score to be in my favor, I have to do this. I have to calm down. Okay, that's what my coach told me. He's like, you have to calm down. If you play and you're calm, you can win. Because he showed me 2 fights. One of my fights where I was playing like a crazy kid, not thinking, just kicking everywhere. And another fight where I was playing like a calm person, calm but aggressive person. And I saw the difference. And like when you see things right in front of you, you can't deny them. And I saw the difference. Like I performed so much better in the one where I was calm than the other one. And yeah, it took time. Like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get kicked on the head, I get pissed. But now I keep it in. I can't burst out because I'm gonna lose. I just think like what do I want at the moment? What do I want? I wanna win. Okay, she kicks me on the head, I don't care. That's it.
That's interesting because for some people it's journaling to become aware of, okay, when they're not doing stuff right or wrong. You had to see it visually and see the before, like the angry version and the calm version to realize, okay, it's smarter to go that way. And so it's important because kids also have to develop that awareness to change. If you're always fighting with anger, you won't be at your best.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's important to kind of be aware of it either through journaling or videos. I think that's important. And it's a point that I haven't thought of before, which I think is interesting. Okay, I've put a couple of points down, but I want to make it a free flow because usually that's how I like to perform best. But I want to see, because there's some things that you said that were really, really interesting. So you said rival 3 years ago, and that's one point. You can go wherever route you want. You said the challenges you faced, and one of the most interesting was, okay, we covered this one. I want to figure, because you said the failure at the Olympics qualification at Tokyo, if you would have stopped, you wouldn't have had the best 3 years of your life.
That's
Tell me more about this.
Okay, so I told you that my first major competition, if you want, as a senior, was the Olympic qualifiers. Like right after COVID, it was like boom, you have to go and perform at the, like, if you want, hardest competition for the, like, with the highest things to lose, like if you don't qualify, you're losing an Olympic place. So I lost there. I won 3 fights, and I lost the fourth, if you want, the qualifying match. Okay, with like the score was so close. Like the score was like 10-10, let's say, at 30 seconds. It was like so close. Then I lost. After that, like, of course, 1 day, 2 days after it, I was so sad. I'm like, okay, I want to stop. And then I realized that why? Why do I want to stop? Because I lost one competition? No. Because I'm not going to the Olympics? No. And it's good. I think that if I had gone to the Tokyo Olympics, I would have stopped right away, because it's like a goal. Okay, you went to the Olympics, now you can stop. But then I didn't stop, and 2021, 2022, 2023 were the best taekwondo years of my life. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I made so many friends from all around the world, and I traveled with my team, and we had so much fun. Like, I think the best trips are the trips with your teammates, and it's much better than the competition, than everything. And I reached my best level during these years. Like, I reached like 16th in the world. Like, who would have thought? And now if I look back and you tell me, do you want to qualify to the Tokyo 2021 Olympics? I'm like, no. I don't. And it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because if I had qualified and I went, I would have stopped after it. I wouldn't have had taekwondo in 2022, 2023, 2024. And this like really shaped me, really changed my character, changed all my life if you want. I traveled like to countries I wouldn't even imagine I'd go there. I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm just going to go with this idea all my life because like at the time I was so angry when I didn't qualify. I was so sad, and for 2 days it was like very bad. And then because something that helped me also is that I'm a not very emotional person, so I get sad like 2 3 days and then okay. So that I think really helped me, and I think like that everything happens for a reason if you want.
That's beautiful because someone else would have like stopped the after the qualifications and said, "No, I'm done." Because it's tough. Like you spent your whole entire life kind of preparing for
For
this.
that competition, yeah, that's true, it's very tough.
What's even more tough, and which I find crazy about you, and I don't know how you're not crazy yet, is that you're not only a top a taekwondo athlete, but you're also a top medical student.
That's true.
Okay, let's take a step back. How do you do it?
How do I do it?
How do you balance? Okay, basically, how do you balance being a high performer, not in one thing, in two things at the same time?
Okay, the thing is, before people told me and asked me that question, I thought it was normal. It's normal
It's
for
not
me
normal.
to do both. Why not?
Yeah.
And then I realized that no, not everyone can do it, and not everyone appreciates to do it. Actually, the thing is, when you study that much in med school, I think you need a break. And for me, the break is training. Okay, and you have to let like everything out.
Yeah.
So training for me is more like a break of med school, and I have fun. I enjoy it. Okay, and when I travel, it's like, wow, 2 days with nothing to study because I have something to focus on. It's not like I'm having fun with my friends and I feel guilty because I'm not studying. It's like a break. If you want, it's my rest. Taekwondo is me resting from med school, and med school is me resting from taekwondo. Like
Okay.
when I do one thing, maybe my definition of rest is not the same as everyone sitting on the couch and sleeping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think of it that way. And let's say when I do taekwondo, I forget everything. When I train, I just think about training. Like I don't think about anything else. So I'm just focused on one thing. And when I study, I just focus on like what I'm studying. Like I don't think I have time to zone out when studying for medical stuff. Okay, because I don't have we have a lot of material, so I'm just focused on that specific thing when I'm doing it. And I think like the thing that helped me is my focus, like the ability to focus on one thing at a time and like just stay on it for like 2 3 hours without zoning out. I think that really helped me.
That's powerful. A lot of people struggle with focus. Like it's hard.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have some things that help?
In September, when I told you I wanted to stop, I lost my focus on everything. I couldn't even focus on studying, on training. Like when I was training, I was thinking about my exam. When I was studying, I was thinking about my performance. And so I don't have a specific thing, but like just focus on what's right in front of you. Like, okay, now if I'm studying, if I think about my weight, for example, how is that gonna help? I'm just thinking about it. How is that going to help? I just have to focus on what's right in front of me. I'm studying, let's say, a medical case. I just have to focus on it because if I focus on, I'm thinking about my competition or stressing about it, on how is that going to help? It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So when I'm in a fight, I'm just thinking about the fight, like thinking about what I didn't study or how late I am, as usual, in studying stuff. It's not going to help. So that's what I think, like just focus on what's right in front of you.
That's amazing. What really pops to mind right away when you say medical school, you told me it was when you were younger, a kid, it was your dream to be a doctor,
Yeah.
right? When you said to the teachers and students around you that you were going to be a doctor right before going to uni, there was a lot of people doubting you, right?
That's true. And actually,
Why were they doubting? What were they doubting?
okay, I was a troublemaker at school, and
Okay.
I wasn't like very focused. I didn't have the best grades. I had average grades and everything, but I knew I wasn't like doing my best. Like I was having fun. I was focused more a bit on taekwondo. And a funny story about that, when I had a training camp in Morocco like this month. Okay, and I bumped into an old teacher in the plane. That okay, I was like I regret what I did to that teacher. I
What
wasn't
did you do?
nice. I wasn't not nice. I was a bit of a I used to talk a lot in class and everything.
Okay.
So for me, he saw me as the troublemaker kid.
Okay.
So he asked me, well, Laetitia, hi, how are you? But I really like him, okay? Well, how are you and everything? And what are you doing now? I'm like, I'm in med school. And he looked at me and he was shocked. He was like, how? What? Why? And what happened to the world? Okay. And then I was like, yeah, a lot happened. And then he's like, actually, you were a smart kid. Like I had good grades in the subjects I wanted to have good grades on. And when I put my mind into like an exam, I used to get like good grades. But yeah, in school, when I told them I wanted to be a doctor, they're like, no, you can't. Not directly, but it's not your style. You have to study more. It's not your lifestyle. You go out a lot. You travel a lot. It's not gonna work with you. They were not very supportive, and some teachers were like, no, you have to work. You have to be much smarter if you want. So that demotivated me a little bit. Okay. And my parents were supportive of everything I did. They're like, you can do whatever you want. You want to be a doctor, be a doctor. You want to do pharmacy, do pharmacy. You want to do business. Okay. So my parents like weren't like pushing me towards like a specific direction, but in the right direction if you want. Okay. So I said, okay, I'm going to do pharmacy. And I did a year and a half of pharmacy and realized that I don't like it. And why don't I like it? And I went and did it. And then I realized it's because people motivated me, because I listened to what people said. And
And you didn't listen to your heart.
I
to
didn't
what
listen
you...
to my heart and what I wanted. And then a year and a half later, yeah, imagine it took me that much time to realize that I don't like what I'm doing and that I actually want to change. And in just 2 days, I sent an email, I want to change majors. And my friends told me, Laetitia, you're crazy. Usually people, they change from pre-med to pharmacy because they think they're not going to make it to med school. And it's very hard. It's a lot of competition. Like it's a big risk because to get into med school, it's not easy. I think you know it.
Yeah, of course.
And they take out of 400 applicants, like 60 people. And they're like, you're crazy. You're going from pharmacy, something that's, if you want a safer option, to pre-med, bio, not even med school. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't like what I'm doing. I want to be a doctor. And I switched. And when I switched, I went to my dad. I told him, Dad, I switched. And he looked at me and he was shocked, but he was happy.
So you didn't tell them before?
No, and my mom too.
You're
I'm
exactly like me. Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
Yeah, Mom, Dad, I'm a pre-med major now. And they're like, what? And we're happy and we're very, very, very supportive. And that's how it happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you have a moment where you were like, this might be a big, big, big risk? Or like taekwondo will, like it will be tough for me to do taekwondo whilst I'm doing medical school, which in of itself is really fucking stressful. Like I have a lot of friends that do it and I don't see that much. So
I keep going out with my friends at least like once or twice per week to help me like balance everything.
Yeah.
To help me like stay sane if you want. And like taekwondo, if you want, is more burning out than med school. I think maybe now because med school we're still like not in the clinical years yet. Med 1, med 2, it's like more of a theory and practice with the actors. You don't really have real patients in front of you. So taekwondo is more burning out if you want. So med school is more of a break from taekwondo. Like, when I study, I rest from training if you want. So, and I just always go out with my friends to like break things, like not always stay under stress.
So it's important for young athletes that have this crazy ambition to also take rest and breaks
Yeah,
and
and they shouldn't like give up on their social life, because that's very, very important. Like, without my social life, without my friends, without my family, everything I do, like, I wouldn't be able to do it, you know? Like, I can't always train and always study without having fun. It's impossible. Like, we're human. No way you can't not go to a party and like, not every weekend if you want, but once per month at least.
when I used to play football, because I competed for 10 years, when I used to go out to parties, I used to feel so guilty.
I used to feel that way. I went to a party yesterday. I'm traveling tomorrow for a competition. You can just go and like leave early and don't drink. You shouldn't really feel guilty, because like for me it's like a way of having fun before having to focus again and study again. It's like you let your energy out if you want, or you have fun. You have to have fun. You can't.
That's the thing. It's important. It's really
Yeah.
important. I feel like not only are you challenging the stereotype of Arab women sports people, but you're also a very big role model to young kids who do taekwondo and martial arts. What's kind of your message to them if they are in that phase where you were before, where they are ambitious about the sport, but
Not sure about it.
not sure?
Yeah, okay. Of course, when you're a teen, you're gonna be like, why am I doing this? Why can't I go out with my friends every day, like them, party every day? Okay, it's nice to do that, and you should. Like, I don't encourage like people who do sports to stop going out with their friends. No, but you have to find a balance, a middle ground, because now that we're like, if you want, adults, I realize that now, like, I'm doing something that I love, and people that were like partying all the time, they're like lost. They're searching something,
Yeah.
you know. Like, I just realized it. Like, now I'm holding on to my sports more than before. When I was 16, 17, I didn't realize that. Like, it's a big, big thing. Plus, like, when you're doing that sport, you have friends around you that are like you, like in the team. Okay, so you're not like, they might feel that they're missing out on things, but you're not. You have all your life to go out, to have fun, to meet people, to have friends. But the friends that you're gonna make in sports, it's different. It's like really something different. And the discipline you're gonna get from the sport, the how can I explain it? Like, you gain things you don't even realize you gained them until later on. Like, for example, this self-control that I gained from the sport, and this patience. I I wasn't like that when I was a kid. I was very hyperactive, very like bursting out. Like, this thing, I realized that I gained it like from the sport, and I was a very shy person. And I think that the sport and helped me like uh, be like a more open person. So if someone is thinking like, is it worth it, is it not, am I to the level, like, even if you're not a world class level athlete, but you're doing something that you like, you're doing something with purpose, you're traveling, you have friends, you're in a team, like, I think that's so much better than just going out with your friends, because you can go out with your friends every day, and then okay, you do it for a month, then you're gonna be bored. You're gonna see, okay, then what's the point?
Exactly. And it gives you a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
When I was younger, and you also were a troublemaker, maybe me a bit more. A bit more. I was a very, very confused, مش- sometimes very angry, aggressive kid. And sports helped me to have a sense of purpose, to stop doing the wrong things, to develop discipline, the good values. So my question is, how much, if there's a parent watching this, they have a kid, how much important is it for the kid to be doing sports?
Okay, very, very important. Like, I can't emphasize how much it will give you not only discipline, like, now I realize that for me, it's very normal to respect someone older than me. Very normal to like let's say someone in older than me in uni, a doctor tells me do this. It's very normal to say yes, even if I don't agree with them. Okay, but I realize that some people they they say no and they don't know how to respect, if you want, older people, you know. And this like sports teaches you that to respect older people, people that are older than you, to do what you're told to do, even sometimes even if you don't agree with it. Okay, because it's for your best, you know, like they know more than you, you know, like your teacher knows more than you. Okay, so you have to do, let's say they tell you to do this, but you don't totally agree with them, but you still have to do it. I think that if someone wasn't in sport, they wouldn't have that kind of discipline and wouldn't do it. Plus, I don't think I'd be in med school without taekwondo, actually, because the discipline and the focus and the stamina that you have to study that much and take that much responsibility, it didn't come from me when I was born. It came from what I went through, the experiences in my sport and everything. You know, so it gives you like not only discipline, but like peace, and if you want, like how to control yourself and go for what you want. Like if you have a goal, you put it in front of you and you just go for it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful because there's a lot of kids, especially now, kids are getting the generation. I'm not old, but but this generation, like the younger one, is getting crazy. Like I mean, crazy.
I know, I'm seeing things.
You know, and it's like they don't have a sense of purpose, and I'm saying that from the heart. It's not because I want to judge. It's because I know how important sports are in someone's life, and parents maybe don't know how important it is. Because they think, okay, you're wasting your time. You're going to do this practice. Focus on your work alone.
No, it's very, very important. Plus, it keeps you away from like smoking, alcohol, I don't know.
All the bad things.
Yeah, all the bad things.
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize that until you're like an adult, if you want. Like when you're a teen, you won't realize that. You're like, oh my God, they're so cool, they're smoking. But no, they're not.
Exactly. For like, in my head, when I was an athlete, and I'm still in the athlete mindset, I do everything as an athlete.
Yeah. I know.
And I think you also, in med school, you have the athlete mindset, kind of do everything with this mindset of, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to achieve it, following the goal and everything
Yeah.
else, right? So this athlete mindset can be applied to anywhere, right?
Exactly. So if I want something, if I want, like when I wanted to get into med school, I wanted to get into med school. I did everything in my power, everything I could to get into med school. Someone else would have like given up. You know, now I want, let's say, a specific thing. I want to win this competition. I'm going to do everything I can to win this competition. And I don't think, like, but with all the obstacles, like, okay, it's very easy to say it. But, like, let's say like you said, for the Arab Championship, I dislocated my shoulder, ankle sprain, broke my thumb, but still went for what I want. I think if someone was in my place and would have dislocated their shoulders 10 days before, they would have said, no, I'm not going to go to the competition. I'm going to do something else. But when you have this fighter's mentality, I think you want something, you just go for it, whatever like the sacrifices are.
Wow, that's so powerful. I think we're gonna, before ending, is there anything else you want to speak about? Anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, actually, during these 3 years that I like, when 2021, 2024, like until now,
Okay.
I realized that during the competitions, I made more like the best thing was making friends, like outside. I had so much like funny stories, if you want.
Tell us.
Okay,
I
and
like
one of them, like I have to say it, like
Okay.
I can't not say it. I have a rival, okay, and she's a really, really good athlete. She's like ranked 6th in the world, I think. I'm not keeping up with her ranking, but yeah, she's in the top 10. And so we played against each other in 2021.
Okay.
And I won. And it was a shock because I was ranked, you know, like you told me 60 or 70. And I played against her. That was a fight where we were like, everything was so equal. The refs had to choose.
Okay.
And she won. And then we played again in 2023, I think, and she won. So the score is like 2-1 for her. And all the time, like I literally saw her in every competition.
Mm.
And her and her coach. And I never said hi. I like used to see them and like I was like, no, I'm no, I'm not saying hi to them. Like she's winning 2-1. I'm not saying hi. And my coach was like, why don't you say hi? You know, it's okay, you can just say hi. I'm like, no. I was a kid.
No.
Okay. And then this month, her coach calls me and he's like, okay, we have a big competition to prep for, and we want you to come and help her prep for the competition. And I'm like, am I dreaming? Like this coach that I never talked to, never even said hi to, he called like my coach and he asked him for me to come and train with them and he talked to me. At first I was like, no way. And on a very short notice. And I'm like, no way, I'm not going. You know, I'm not going to the training camp. And then when he talked to me, I'm like, you know what? Go. You know, what am I gonna lose? Just go. You know? And I went. I was look, the times where I'm anxious are very rare. Like I'm not usually an anxious person. And before meeting them, I was so anxious. I'm like, it's gonna be so awkward. Like I've been seeing them for 3 years straight, every month, never said hi or anything, just fought against them. And now they're inviting me to their home to train with them. And then after the training camp, we became like really, really good friends. So I want to say, like, if you have a rival, just outside the ring, just say hi. Okay? Like, you know, what do you lose? You're gonna see you have so many things in common with them. And they're nice actually, and they're very fun. And like there's so much more to sports than just rivalry and like competing. Like outside the ring, you just have to break the ice if you want and just say hi.
That's a powerful note. And you said also that you said to me that it also helped you improve so much as a fighter.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you train with someone as strong as you or stronger than you, and someone like that's a rival, that's when you and you're out of your comfort zone. That's when you like, you know, you just feed the most.
Yeah.
Especially out of your comfort zone against someone like that's a very high level athlete. So I came back and I was really ready for the Arab Championship.
That's beautiful because kind of sometimes your ego gets in the way and you're like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say hi. And I do have something also, this thing also like that sometimes, and I realize that when I get through it and I break the ice, like you said, that's when I make the best friendships. That's when I have the best time, the best experiences.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing. For example, I'll give you an example. We were in Greece, Jado, Salamoun, and Rayan, which is also like my best friends, and John Asmar. And we were at a place and just sitting and doing nothing, and I was getting bored. I was like, no, wait, we were not going to do this. So we saw an Arab guy. I just went up to him and started talking. This Arab guy led us to a party, a beach party. We went, we had the best fucking time ever. Ever, ever, ever. We met a lot of girls, we met a lot of friends, it was a very freeing and beautiful experience. What if I didn't talk to the guy, and I was scared to talk to the guy, and I was like, I don't know him, maybe he will take it wrong, maybe. If I was scared and I didn't do it, then none of that would have happened. And it's the same with you, with sports and with anything else. Breaking the ice is powerful.
Yeah, it's so important. Like, and I had the same thing also with friends from another country. When I was a junior, I used to see them also at every competition, but we never like said hi or talked to each other.
Okay.
Okay. And then one day we had a competition in Lebanon, and they were here, and they were having dinner with some of my friends that are not competing. They were volunteers.
Okay.
And my competition was the next day, if you want. Before my competition, I usually sleep at like 7, 8. I'm like a nerd. Okay. And they called me at like 8. I was going to sleep. And they're like, Laetitia, we're having dinner with your friends from this country. Not your friends, but these athletes from this country. And they're saying that you're not mean, but شايفة حالة, you have an ego. Okay. And I'm like, what? Me? I'm not like that. I changed my clothes. I went into the car and I drove the day before my competition, and I went to dinner with them. And I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" And I swear they're like, if you tell me do you have best friends outside? I'm like, yeah, them. Like,
Wow, that's how it.
we're so close right now. Like every competition I go to, okay, like they're like my team if you want. Sometimes like after the competition we go out, and sometimes I train with them before competitions. Like really, really, we're so close right now just because of one thing. And I asked them, why did you think that about me? They're like, because on the day of the competition, you're so focused, so serious. You don't laugh, you don't say hi. I'm like, yeah, I'm just focused, and that's it. That was it. Like I never that's my face. Like on the day of the competition, I was just serious. And that's why they thought that I was not nice. But that's not true.
That's. I think that's beautiful. First of all, because breaking through the ice is not easy at first, but then when you do, you're so glad you did,
Yeah, exactly.
and then you make the best friends, like you said, and then it's worth it. It's worth it. So that's pretty much it from my side. I think it was a pretty interesting talk. And if a kid was watching this, that's a young athlete, he would benefit so much, so much. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to follow along because every week there's a new episode. Today we covered three things: the fighter's mentality. We covered also how to achieve sustained success and how to be a balanced high performer. So if you want more, to unlock more secrets of wisdom from exclusive guests that are both rich in meaningful success, but also rich in peace, meaning, and fulfillment, then make sure to follow along and to consider following this podcast. I've been your host, Aji, and this has been our very welcoming guest, Laetitia.